Sunny 95.
Welcome to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the show that brings you man-on-the-street interviews, celebrity guests, groundbreaking research, and heartwarming stories about the reasons we smile. Our show is also known as everything you've always wanted to know about dentistry, but were too numb to ask. Hello, I'm General Dentist Dr. Kvitko, and thank you for joining me today.
The following views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of this station, its staff, management, or parent company. To hear a replay of this show or one of the great shows that previously aired, log on to thereasonswesmile.com or iTunes, keyword Dr. Kvitko or The Reasons We Smile. Listeners should not use Dr. Kvitko's comments and advice in place of an actual dental exam.
Brighten your life with a smile that shows the professional touch of Dr. Kvitko.
Time now for The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Call 459-9769 to discuss your dental issues. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kvitko.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Reasons We Smile. I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode 622. Thank you so much for joining me. Yesterday, I attended my IV Sedation Re-certification Class, and today we're going to find out what did I learn, okay? Before we get started, let me remind you, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr. Kvitko, and if you'd please go to my office Facebook page and like us, that would be awesome. It's Dr. Kvitko and Associates. Also, all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com, and we're streaming live on Facebook. Okay? In about 10 minutes, you're going to have a chance to win free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They're going to be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. If you want to pre-program that phone number right now, it is 614-459-9769. Just pre-program it. Don't call yet. 614-459-9769. Okay, so like I said, I went to my... Now, you only have to take this course, by the way, every 2 years. But I take it every year because I want to make sure that the information is fresh in my mind. And so I typically go every December. And so I thought, you know what, we've talked about the fact that I've gone, but we've never really talked about what did I learn, so that's going to be the topic. So one of the things that is a part of this class is an update on any new rules, regulations, laws that have been passed, that sort of thing. And so there has been some, dentistry's been in the news mostly because of lawsuits. Lawsuits from companies that do the whitening in the mall and the kiosk, and lawsuits from other entities that are kind of doing dentistry what seems like without a license. I will say that unfortunately the FTC seems to side with everyone else but dentistry right now, so I don't even know what kind of gel they use in those whitening kiosks because they don't have access to the prescription strength gel that we use when we do it. But I guess if people want to go there and get a shade or two lighter, I guess the FTC says they should be able to. So essentially, a lot has changed because of the way the FTC is viewing dentistry, and really what it comes down to is this. Most of the dental boards are dentists. And in the case of Ohio, the board members are appointed by the governor, but in some states, they're appointed by the local dental, or rather the statewide dental association, which means dentist appointing dentists. And so the FTC says, well, they're probably just trying to protect their turf. And they don't like that. So anyway, that's been some of the change. Another one that happened, there are 9 approved specialties, 9 different specialties in dentistry. At least there were until March of this year. March 11th of this year, dental anesthesia was added as a dental specialty. There are now specialty programs, residencies that dental students, recent grads, can do to become a dental anesthesiologist. And so there are some companies now that rove around town. They come to dental offices and they will provide the anesthesia services for your dentist so you can be put under IV. Actually, I think they can even do general, although I think they prefer to keep it what we would call deep conscious or light general. But anyway, so that's new. By the way, the approved specialties currently then, if I can remember them all, would be pediatric dentistry or pedodontics, would be prosthodontics, which is maybe more advanced bridges and implant-supported bridges and partials and dentures and that sort of thing. Periodontology or periodontics, gums and bone and that sort of thing. So that's 3. And then we have endodontics, which is root canals. Oral surgery, I think you know what that is. And let me see, what am I leaving out? Endo, perio, pedo. Gee, I'm trying to remember. I should have made my list. But anyway, there's a new one called dental anesthesiologist. And there are 3 coming: dental pain, dental implantology. Actually, that one's going to be a little bit delayed. I'm trying to remember. I'll find them. Okay. So anyway, that's some of the updates. It's on my notes here. I just have to find the right page. I don't want to bore you. Okay. So then there's something else that came out is people like me who do sedation and provide oral sedatives and IV sedatives. I have to keep a record. You would have assumed that, and I already assumed that, but I also have to have a special record of waste. So when we load a syringe that maybe has, maybe 50 milligrams of Benadryl and 2 milligrams of Dilaudid, if I only use half of it, I've always been disposing of it, but apparently now I have to make sure I keep a list, have it available in case the state pharmacy board comes calling, walks in the office and says, I want to see your records. So they're working very hard to try to keep drugs from falling into the wrong hands, keeping even dental office personnel from becoming the ones that become addicted. And so we just have to track everything, which makes a lot of sense. Now, why are we so concerned about all of this, tracking everything? And this actually is going to be probably be Dr. Kvitko's question of the day, so if you're going to be still tuned in another 5-6 minutes, then you should pay attention. There are 7 million Americans dependent on drugs right now. 7 million. Now we have just over 300 million people in the country, but of course that includes infants and toddlers, and we would hope that they're not addicted. So if you take them out of the equation, you're probably looking at maybe 270 million, and 7 of them are addicted to drugs. There are now more overdose deaths more overdose deaths than deaths from motor vehicle accidents. Now, I didn't say car accidents because motor vehicle can be a truck, can be a motorhome, that sort of thing, a bus. But anyway, there are now more people dying from overdoses of drugs than in motor vehicle accidents. In 2013, there were 137 million prescriptions for hydrocodone written in Ohio. 137 million for that one drug in the state of Ohio alone. By the way, Ohio has a population of about 11,000. In 2014, there were 750 million prescriptions for opioid pills in Ohio. That's 65 per person. That's crazy, which is kind of like how we got where we are. We did identify that when these deaths started happening, that there were some pill mills, people that they'd go to a doctor, supposedly have an exam, but it really wasn't an exam. They were just lining up to get their prescription. And I guess one of the things that got the attention of the authorities is on Monday morning, there'd be literally 150 people lined up outside of this one doctor's office down in southern Ohio. And they were there to get their, fictitious exam, I guess. I can call it that now because they did indict the doctor for essentially faking the exam so that the people could get their prescriptions. And I guess they were charging so much per person, and luckily that has been shut down. But so then what happens is those drugs that, here's another little fact. So it's that for third molars, 100 million doses of opioids have been prescribed for third molar removal, wisdom teeth. 100 million doses, go unused. So basically, the average prescription for somebody who's having their wisdom teeth out has been about 28 tablets. And to be honest, that's what I used to do. Well, that's not true. I would do 16. What am I saying? But I never did more than 28. Well, the average used is 13. So you have all of those pills out there in medicine cabinets, and just sometimes people carry them in their luggage, or they just have them at home somehow. And so that became a source of drugs then for people that, well, as it turns out, there was a stat that says the first time a child would be given access to an opioid was oftentimes from a parent. And it was 61% of the people receiving these drugs would be girls, which would make you think that they were given these drugs by their mom, who maybe had them for some surgery, but the daughter maybe has her period and she's having excessive pain. And so well, here, take this. This will solve the problem. Probably did solve the problem, but anyway, if there are some people who, when they take one dose of a narcotic, they can become addicted from that one dose. I guess the same thing can happen in alcohol use as well. I mean, not everybody that drinks alcohol becomes an alcoholic. Some drink heavier than others, but not everybody becomes an alcoholic. And so, we have to be careful with this. So, anyway, now, so here's something about the people that do drink, though. People who drink heavily have a maximum daily safe dose of acetaminophen that's only 1/2 the normal. So the normal safe dose of acetaminophen in a day is 4,000 milligrams. But if you drink heavily, it's only 2,000 milligrams. So you can more easily obtain an overdose of acetaminophen and do liver and kidney damage by doing so, and you don't even realize it. So that's part of the reason I want to bring you this information today. So if you happen to drink heavily, and sometimes you don't realize you drink heavily, but think about it, or maybe you drink moderately, you need to be careful about how much acetaminophen you are ingesting when you do happen to have a headache or something like that. Okay? So let's see, I'm looking at the clock. It looks like it's time to do Dr. Kvitko's question of the day, and I've clearly covered the question. So, before we do the contest, though, we would like you to listen to this.
This station will not be held liable for any contesting during The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko. Participation in the contest allows Dr. Kvitko to record and broadcast your name and call. One winner per household. Prizes are non-transferable, cannot be substituted, and are subject to taxes and fees. This station cannot be responsible for the inability to enter the contest, whether due to equipment malfunction or telephone difficulties. All decisions of Dr. Kvitko concerning this contest or eligibility are final.
And now it's time for Dr. Kvitko's question of the day.
All right, remember, you're going to have a chance to win free flowers from DeSantis Florist. Today we've been talking about the information dentists and neurosurgeons who sedate their patients have to take into account. What are some of the facts about controlled substance abuse? A, there are 7 million Americans dependent upon drugs. B, there are now more overdose deaths than deaths from motor vehicle accidents. C, in 2013, there were 137 million prescriptions for hydrocodone in Ohio. D, in 2014, there were 750 million prescriptions for opioid pills in Ohio, which would be 65 pills per person. Or E, all of the above. All right, the winner's going to receive free flowers from DeSantis Florist. They'll be delivered to your place of business this Tuesday afternoon. The number to call is 614-459-9769. That's 614-459-9769. So go ahead and call now.
You won't believe it though. I wanna hear your mind, and there's nothing else in the world tonight. She said people don't take the time. Hey, people don't take the time.
Hey, what's going on? It's Keith Carlos, winner of America's Next Top Model and star of Chocolate City 2. You can look for my smile courtesy of Dr. Kvitko on the CBS television network, where I play Danny on the hit soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. Stay tuned to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of The Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. Did you know that you no longer need to visit several different dental professionals to get more complete dental care? We handle everything from cleanings and orthodontics to restoration, implants, and smile makeovers, all in my office. Get the most advanced technology and procedures available today. It's more complete dentistry.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
Dr. Kvitko! Let's go!
Hi, Hi, I'm Johanna, and I've been a dental patient at Dr. Kvitko and Associates for over 10 years. I would really recommend Dr. Kvitko for your family's dental care. They're friendly. They're always there to help me. I feel like family when I walk in the door. It's clean, it's comfortable. Even if I have to bring my kids, they have a great playroom for them. I know when I'm with Dr. Kvitko, they are taking that extra time to make sure that I'm going to be the healthiest I can be. They've been great. I love them.
Call Dr. Kvitko and Associates today, 614-262-9588.
Hi, this is Richard Simmons. Dr. Kvitko's here, and he's going to help you with all of your problems. Are your teeth yellow? He can fix that. Are you missing a tooth? He can put a new one in. How is that?
That's very good. Thank you, Richard. Okay, we're back. We're doing Dr. Kvitko's question of the day. We have Janet. And Janet, I think, has the right answer. How are you, Janet?
I'm doing well, Dr. Kvitko. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for calling in. What is the answer?
It is E, all of the above.
That's right. Is that interesting? Were you interested in those numbers? Isn't that crazy?
It's actually really scary when you think about it.
Yeah, 750 million. I had no idea. And by the way, that's not all dentists. A lot of that, and I would think most of that would be physicians. Janet, what do you do for a living?
I work for a wireless carrier.
Oh.
I'm in a business support.
Oh, okay. Okay. I have Verizon. Is it Verizon?
It is Verizon, but I didn't know if I was allowed to say it.
Oh, it's fine. I don't care, especially since I have Verizon. By the way, Verizon's the only one that works in my office building. Everybody else that comes in, they can't get a signal. I don't know why that is.
Well,
but
we're the largest, most reliable network, so that's not surprising.
I actually said that to somebody the other day. I says, maybe those commercials are true. Anyway, all right. Well, hey, stay on the line. I'd like to get the information where we can send you those flowers, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
And the other folks that were calling in and we didn't get to you, please call back next week, okay? All right, folks, if you're just joining me, I'm Dr. Kvitko. This is episode 622 of The Reasons We Smile. And we are talking about the fact that yesterday I went for my IV Sedation Re-certification Class. It's required every 2 years. I do it every year to try to keep as fresh as I can. It's taught by Dr. Joel Weaver and Dr. Carl Flesser. It's called Sunbury Seminars. They put on a great lecture. The facility is awesome. It's in the Quest Center. And by the way, I even took a picture of it, although I'm not putting it up here. The thermostat. Have you ever gone to one of these meetings or these seminars and it's freezing or it's terribly hot? I mean, I always bring my jacket and I always wear it. Well, I didn't have to yesterday. But not only that, as I walked around the room, I noticed on the thermostat itself, it says, "Feel free to adjust me." Have you ever heard of that at one of these conference centers where you can actually change the temperature? I thought that was so cool. So I want to give a shout out to Quest Conference Center. It's up on Polaris, not too far from Polaris Grill. And by the way, the food was provided by, or rather, not provided by, I guess they made the food. It was purchased. But it was awesome, and, I don't have a free coupon to Polaris Grill for saying that, although I'd love one, if you're listening. Anyway, okay, so we're talking about the kinds of things that I learn and the kinds of things that we need to keep track of. So some of the other new things that have come about, one would be that we now need parental approval to give an opioid prescription to a minor, which makes sense, and I don't think I've ever done that even when it wasn't a rule or a law. I've always checked with the parents, are you okay with me giving your child a narcotic painkiller? But now it's actually a law. Now the approval can come from a grandparent, but if it's a non-parent giving the approval, I can only give the person a 72-hour supply. Okay, 72 hours, 3 days. If it's a parent, I can give them a 1 week supply. Okay? I'm telling you this because I want you guys to understand some of the things that we have to deal with when people request pain medicine, what we have to be concerned about. Now, if I have a patient come in, and for any patient that comes in, even somebody just calls and makes an appointment, if I have any concerns at all, or just randomly, I need to check what's called ORS. ORS stands for the Ohio Automatic Prescription Reporting System. And I need to document that I did it. I need to document what I found. And a pharmacist will check ORS for several reasons. So it's not even your dentist or your doctor that checks this ORS thing. It's a database that every drug you've ever gotten, narcotics, I don't think it includes the amoxicillin, that sort of thing. So the pharmacists, and you might wonder, why does it take so long to fill your prescription? Well, some of that has to do with their checking. So if there is a new or different controlled substance, they're going to check ORS. If your ORS history hasn't been reviewed in 12 months, they might check it. If your doctor is located outside the usual geographic area, they might check it. If the patient is outside the usual geographic area, they'll check it. If the pharmacist believes that the prescription, if the patient is getting prescriptions from multiple doctors within 3 months, that's doctor shopping, right? Just to get drugs oftentimes. If multiple doctors in the same, if there are multiple doctors in the same group practice, though, that's okay. It's not a red flag. If the patient shows signs of potential abuse or diversion, and I'll tell you what, people all the time, they'll call and they'll say, oh, I lost my prescription. My dog ate it. I mean, yeah, really? I mean, if your dog ate it, which vet did you take him to? You know what I mean? It's like, my dog ate my homework. So these are signs that'll have the pharmacist want to check. Early refills. So if you need a refill earlier than you're supposed to, well, what does that tell them? It tells them that you're using them faster than you should. Either you're taking them more often or you're giving them to friends. If you're intoxicated, if you are an unfamiliar patient to them, and literally, if you say your dog ate them, is one of the things listed here. And a pharmacist, get this did not used to be the case, but a pharmacist is not required to fill any questionable prescription. So anything they don't feel comfortable with, they're within their right, within the laws of the state of Ohio, to refuse to fill it. Now, I had a pharmacist refuse to fill a prescription that I had written once, and it was a woman who I'd extracted a tooth from, and she was on Medicaid, and something about they said Medicaid didn't cover the prescription, or that it would be a cost to her, and she didn't have the money, and she got angry. And it wasn't that it wasn't a legitimate prescription and that she needed it. The pharmacist didn't essentially like her attitude. The pharmacist didn't feel comfortable because this woman was angry and yelling. So I guess it's unfortunate that we've come to that. Nobody likes to be yelled at. I would hope that a pharmacist wouldn't put that in front of a patient's need for pain pills, especially when they've had a tooth extracted. But they do have the ability to do that. And so I guess the takeaway here would be nice to your pharmacist. Don't yell and scream, even if you don't like what's happening. Because, again, that didn't used to happen. So, in addition, you know what? Looks like I'm running out of time before this next break. So when we come back, I'm going to go over the Ohio. There's some more stats on Ohio overdose deaths that I want to share with you. Okay? All right, you're listening to The Reasons We Smile with Dr. Kvitko, and we'll be right back.
You can't take me as I am, not just a little bit. I don't know who to be. I'm a paper cup, baby, you're the sea. I know you see it too, 'cause you're too much for me.
This is Clark Kellogg. Stay tuned for more of Dr. Kvitko.
Estás escuchando con Dr. Kvitko aquí en su estación favorita.
Hi, I'm Dominique Reichert. Like what you hear? Why not use the show to promote your product or service by becoming a sponsor? Call 614-262-9588 to learn how. That's 614-262-9588. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kvitko, general dentist and host of the Reasons We Smile radio and roadshow. I've been honored to help several famous people get a perfect smile, like Keith Carlos and Dominique Reigard from America's Next Top Model, and Ted the Golden Voice Williams from right here in Columbus. Isn't it time you had a celebrity smile? It costs less than you might think, and most of the time, it can be done in one visit. A new smile can make a world of difference.
Visit worldsmostinterestingdentist.com for more info about Dr. Kvitko.
I'm Grandpa, and I go to Dr. Kvitko, and I still have all my teeth. Real ones. Where's my glasses?
Okay, we're back. We're talking about what I learned at my IV Sedation Re-certification course that I took yesterday at the Quest Center. And one of my Facebook listeners, or viewers actually, is asked if he wondered if there were any thermostat wars at the Quest Center. And that's funny, Aaron, because it turns out as I was looking at those thermostats, there was one set at 75 and one set at 72. So maybe the people in the back of the room were a little bit cold and they turned it up to 75. I don't know. But anyway, I just think that was cool. All right, so now, in 2017, August, the Ohio State Dental Board rules determined that adults are not allowed to be given more than a 7-day supply of a narcotic, and they cannot have a refill. I mean, it can't say 1 refill or 2 refills on it. That doesn't mean that you can't go back to your dentist or doctor because you're still having pain and say, hey, I need more pills, but the pill bottle itself can't have an automatic refill. Minors can only be given a 5-day supply, and that's even with parental approval. It's the with a non-parent approval where we're limited to the 3-day supply. Okay? So now, I wanted to go over the Ohio overdose deaths. So, between 2003 and 2016, 11,000 prescriptions for opioids there were 11,000 deaths from prescriptions of opioid or benzodiazepine deaths. Okay? So, that would be like Valium, Ambien, that sort of thing. 2015, there were 3,500 accidental overdose deaths. That's 8 a day in 2015. I realize that's 4 years ago, but half of youths on heroin started with prescription pills. Half of them. There are times when an ORS report is not needed, and that would be for if I'm going to hand somebody a pill. Let's say I'm doing my oral sedation, and I say, here, take these pills, it's going to make you comfortable. I don't have to report that, which is kind of cool because that's a lot of paperwork, by the way. But if I give you a sample to take home, if you say, oh, can you give me one of those to take home, then I would have to report it. And to be honest, I don't keep them around for that purpose. I keep them just for the sedation, so I never do that. And I will write you a prescription if I think you need one. But by not handing you a pill, I'm eliminating the need for me to fill out a special form and file it within a certain number of days, and it's just it's a lot. Okay. So, okay, what else? Now, so let's say I write you a prescription for an opioid, and it turns out you're allergic to it. So you call me up and say, I broke out in hives. Well, I've just written you a prescription for, let's say, for example, 16 tablets. And remember how we said if you go back and try to get more before the time is right, the pharmacist can refuse? Well, you're allergic to it, so I need to write you a different one. And when you take that to the pharmacy, they are going to look at you like, you just had 16 tablets yesterday. But what I have to do is call that pharmacist and say, here's the reason Mr. Smith has been being given another 16 tablets. It turns out he's allergic to the ones I wrote him yesterday. And if I keep in touch with the pharmacy, if I make them aware, then things should go smoothly. But it does kind of raise an eyebrow for them. And so then I'm supposed to talk to you about what are you going to do with those first 16 that you're allergic to. And I have to encourage you to try to dispose of them. You know, there are these packets you can buy that you put the pills inside, and you, I think it's like got some kind of a liquid in it, and you squeeze it and pop this liquid, and it makes everything useless, and then you can just throw it away. So there are ways of disposing of this that will keep it from, you know, getting out in the system where people can find them. And I happen to have a house for sale right now. And one of the ways people have been obtaining these drugs, we learned, is that when there's an open house, so if you're a realtor, listen up, there might be a husband and wife, and the husband says, I'm going to go, or the wife might say, show me the kitchen, and the husband might go and say, I'm going to check out the upstairs bedrooms, and really what he's doing is looking through your medicine cabinet and stealing narcotic painkillers and anything like Valium or Ambien or Xanax or that sort of thing. So be aware of that, and if you are selling your house, take those out of the house before you actually have the open house. Take them with you. All right, looks like I'm out of time, and so I really want to thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I think it's been a pretty informative show, and I hope you do as well. Okay, that's all the time we have. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's at Dr. Kvitko, and visit my office Facebook page and like us. Remember that all past episodes, complete with video, are available at thereasonswesmile.com. Be sure to tune in next week and every week right here on your favorite station. Goodbye.
Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the hit show on VH1, urging you to tune in next week with my dentist, Dr. Kvitko.
If you're interested in learning more about this and other dental health topics, go to thereasonswesmile.com to access full episodes of Dr. Kvitko's show.
If you'd like Dr. Kvitko, the world's most interesting dentist, to speak at your next event, please call 614-262-9588. That's